Governor Gavin Newsom has alleged that the US Department of Justice is investigating people in his orbit due to his political opposition to President Donald Trump. In recent days, federal agents have knocked on the door of family, friends, and former employees. Newsom said in a video on Monday, "Not because they found crime, because they're simply trying to find one." Leaders of the G7 are expected to focus on the United States' deal with Iran and the Russian war on Ukraine at their meeting in France, with US President Donald Trump likely to be urged to quickly finalize the agreement to end the conflict in the Middle East. French President Emmanuel Macron, who is hosting the summit in Evian-les-Bains near the Swiss border, said the priority was to ensure that there is a solid, serious agreement that is finalized.
Punjab Arts Council has announced that all theatres across the province will remain closed from 1st to 13th Muharram-ul-Haram in observance of the religious period. According to an official notification issued by the council, no stage dramas or cultural performances will take place in any theatre during this time. Authorities have directed all theatre operators to strictly ensure compliance with the ban. Pakistan Meteorological Department, PMD, has forecast below normal rainfall and above normal temperatures across most parts of the country from July to September 2026, raising concerns about water shortages, crop stress, and weather-related disasters. According to the PMD's three-month outlook, warming sea surface temperatures in the Pacific Ocean indicate the development of El Niño conditions, which are typically associated with reduced rainfall in Pakistan. While the Indian Ocean Dipole, IID, is expected to shift into a positive phase during the season, its impact on monsoon rainfall is likely to remain limited due to its late development.
The Punjab government is expected to announce a 7% increase in salaries and pensions for government employees and retirees in its upcoming fiscal year 2026-27 budget. According to official sources said the proposed and pension adjustments recently approved by the federal government. The announcement is likely to be made during the Punjab Budget 2026 of the Punjab Budget 2026-27.
Punjab Youth Affairs and Sports Department is set to organise the country's biggest sports event in October, with more than 50 lakh male and female students from different educational institutions expected to take part. Prize money worth crores of rupees will be distributed among the winning players.
A fire that lasted for several hours destroyed forest vegetation and shrubs across an estimated 30 to 35 acres in Bahawalpur's Lal Sohanra National Park. According to Rescue 1122, the fire broke out before Friday evening in the 36 RD inside the park. The blaze quickly spread to different locations, burning trees and bushes in areas that were difficult for firefighting vehicles to access. Sausage and bean soup ingredients: K&N's Frankfurter sausage, 8 sausages.
Utatok. The Counter-Terrorism Department, CTD, on Tuesday said that it had killed 5 suspected militants during an intelligence-based operation in the border area of Mankor, remote locality in Atok, district's Jan Tehsil. According to a CTD spokesperson, security personnel launched credible intelligence regarding the presence and activities of militants allegedly involved in planning terrorist attacks in Punjab. Punjab Chief Minister Maryam Nawaz Sharif on Tuesday approved a people-friendly provincial budget for the fiscal year 2026-27 after the 35th meeting of the provincial cabinet accorded its formal approval to the budget document. Addressing the cabinet meeting, the chief minister said the government had made every possible effort to provide maximum relief to citizens and minimize the financial burden on them despite economic challenges and prevailing global conditions.
Since Israel launched its latest war on Gaza, Palestinian activist Mohammed Hanoun has been a figurehead in demonstrations across Italy, wrapped in a keffiyeh and waving the national flag. As head of the Palestinian Association in Italy, he delivered impassioned speeches condemning the Italian government's military cooperation with Israel and demanding an end to the genocide in Gaza.
This week, moves by France to bar a senior Israeli minister, 6 Western states sanctioned settler networks, and an Amnesty International accusation that Israel was implementing a state-sponsored campaign of ethnic cleansing in a drive to effectively annex parts of the West Bank. Did little to restrain Israel. The Israeli cabinet advanced the funding of dozens of new settlements, moved to legalize the very outposts whose residents terrorize Palestinian communities, and took a step it had avoided for 3 decades, establishing a permanent military base inside areas of the West Bank, supposedly under full Palestinian administrative control.
Long-range United States military aircraft has crashed in the state of California, killing all 8 people on board. Officials confirm the Boeing-manufactured B-52 bomber plunged to the ground at Edwards Air Force Base on Monday, officials said at a news conference.
A United Nations-backed court in the Central African Republic has begun the trial in absentia of former President Francois Bozizé over crimes against humanity, including murder, enforced disappearances, torture and rape. Bozizé, who seized power in a coup in 2003 and was overthrown 10 years later by rebels, has lived in exile in Guinea-Bissau since March 2023. 3 of his former senior military officers, Eugene Barrack-Ngaicoset, Vianney Semdiro and Firmin Jr. Danboy, are all in pre-trial detention in the car. Voters will head to the polls in several states and the national capital this week as the United States takes another step towards the all-important midterm elections in November, when control of the US Congress will be on the line. The midterms will also serve as a referendum on President Donald Trump's second term in office, as the Republican leader struggles with flagging popularity Iran that has hiatus war against Iran that has heightened concerns over the cost of living.
DJI has officially introduced the Osmo Pocket 4P, its first pocket gimbal camera with 2 main cameras. The launch comes just weeks after DJI introduced the standard Osmo Pocket 4 with a 1-inch sensor, 4K 240 FPS slow motion and improved tracking. The new Osmo Pocket 4P builds on that model while adding a major zoom upgrade.
Sindh Inspector General of Police Javed Alam Odo has formed a high-level committee to modernize the provincial police force in line with current technological and operational needs, according to the news. Additional IG establishment training. Iqbal Dara will head the committee, which includes senior officials such as DIGGs of Establishment and West Zone, AIGs of State Management and Finance, and representatives from East Zone Investigation. The Establishment AIG will serve as the committee's secretary.
Lahore authorities are planning major changes at Defence More in a bid to tackle chronic traffic congestion at one of the city's busiest junctions. The proposed upgrade follows a series of inspections and consultations led by Chief Traffic Officer, CTO Syed Abdul Rahim Shirazi, who has been working with relevant agencies to identify long-term solutions for traffic flow issues at the intersection.
US Comms Secretary Howard Lutnick said he took action against Anthropic's latest Mythos and Fable AI models because officials feared they could be deployed by military intelligence users in China, Russia, or other countries of concern. Lutnick noted the risk in a letter sent to Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei on Friday, ordering the company to suspend export of the AI models to destinations worldwide and all foreign nationals, wherever located, according to a copy of the letter seen by Reuters on Monday.
Health Minister Mustafa Kemal on Tuesday criticised the formula of fund distribution under the National Finance Commission NFC award, which is based on the size of every province's populations, as flawed. In his remarks during an address to the National Assembly, where a debate on the federal budget fiscal year 2026-27 was ongoing, Kemal noted that the NFC formula was 82% population-based.
The US military is planning a permanent war-ready weapons stockpile for its Marine Corps on Australia's southeast missiles, tender documents show, and officials confirmed to AFAP. The development of the stockpile, a first for the Marine Corps in Australia, comes as the United States is keen to leverage the continent's strategic location in the South Pacific to counter China's rapid military build-up, analysts said.
The covered-up image of a nude artefact has been withdrawn from an Indian school textbook after it sparked a massive backlash from historians and educationists. The bronze sculpture, known as the Dancing Girl from Mohenjo-Daro, shows a girl standing with one hand on her hip and is one of the most recognisable artefacts from the Indus Valley civilization.
US President Donald Trump has said a memorandum of understanding, with Iran, has been all signed electronically, and the Strait of Hormuz will be completely open by Friday. US officials told the Reuters and AFP news agencies that the agreement was signed by Trump, US Vice President J.D. Vance, and main Iranian negotiator and Parliament Speaker Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf. Pakistan International Airlines, PA, has implemented a new policy imposing stringent restrictions on smoking and the possession of tobacco products by cabin crew members. Under the directive, flight attendants are no longer allowed to carry cigarettes, cigars, or any other tobacco products in their personal luggage.
A major convenience has been introduced for citizens seeking driving licences in Lahore. Residents can now obtain medical fitness certificates free of charge from government hospitals, a document required for certain categories of driving licences. According to the Chief Traffic Officer, CTO of Lahore, free medical fitness certificate centres have been established in 13 government hospitals across the city during the initial phase.
Tecno has introduced the latest member of its Spark 50 series, the Spark 50 Pro. The new smartphone stands out with IP68 and IP69 ingress protection ratings and a distinctive rear design. The back of the device features a camera plate inspired by the iPhone 17 Pro series, although it houses only a single camera sensor. PTI founder Imran Khan's sister, Alima Khan, said on Tuesday that the government's version of events was unacceptable after the former premier was taken to the hospital for the 5th time for the treatment, his Alima said. We have received reports that Imran Khan was again taken to Pakistan Institute of Medical Sciences, PIMS, in the early hours of the 15th of June. We found out through a tweet by Barrister Gohar on the morning of June 15.
In the crystalline waters off Kenya's coast, coral reefs are thriving, evidence of a rare good news story in the battle to protect oceans from the ravages of climate change. A new study presented at the Our Ocean conference in Mombasa on Tuesday finds that 166,000 square kilometres of the world's coral reefs, around a third of the total, are particularly climate resilient, meaning they have the potential to survive through major ocean warming events.
Like Pakistani aunties everywhere, Taylor Swift's fans seem to have one burning question about their favourite singer. When is she getting married? On Monday, they got closer than ever to the answer they were waiting for when New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani appeared to confirm the wedding dates during a press conference.
Los Angeles. I'm sure when we score a goal today, everyone will be cheering. That was the prediction of Iranian fan Parsa Tafreshi, who had travelled from New York to Los Angeles to see Iran take on New Zealand on Monday.